So now we're going to be going over HM Test 2, Unit 1, Lesson 2. Now, we just did infection control, now we're moving on to vital signs. Vital signs are signs that are necessary to life, including temperature, pulse, blood pressure, and respiratory rate. The first one we're going to go over is temperature. Temperature is the measurement of heat below the skin and subcutaneous tissue. The terms associated with this are fever, which is elevated body temperature, febrile, which means with fever, afebrile, which means without fever, hypothermia, which means body temperature below the normal body range, and hyperthermia, which means body temperature above the normal range. Now you can obtain
That's a scary thought.
Blah, blah, blah. Now you can obtain temperature 4 different ways. You can do it through oral, which is in the inside of your mouth, right under your tongue. You can do rectal, which is in your butt, up your anus. You can do auxiliary? I don't know how to say that, but it's under your armpit. And tympanic, which is inside the patient's ear. You can attain all of these temperatures with a thermometer, and it will always be written in either Fahrenheit or Celsius. Make sure to memorize how to take the temperature for oral, rectal, and axillary. The normal temperatures are as follows. Rectal is 99.6 degrees Fahrenheit.
Axillary
Is 97.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Tympanic is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. And oral is 98.6 as well. Next thing is pulse. Pulse is the regular, recurrent expansion and contraction of an artery produced by waves of pressure caused when the heart beats. Sensation that can be felt when fingertips lightly compress an artery against an underlying bone. The terms associated with this are tachycardia, which is like a super fast heartbeat, usually above 100 in adults. Bradycardia is the next one, and that's an abnormally slow heartbeat, which is usually under 60 in adults. A thready pulse is a weak and rapid pulse. A bouncing pulse is an unusually strong pulse. And arrhythmia is a pulse with an irregular rhythm. So there's different places you can find your pulse. There's your radial pulse, which is like you put your fingers down on the thumb side. Your brachial pulse will be on the inner part of your arm. You can feel the carotid on either side of the neck, this side or this side. Your femoral artery is going to be on your upper thighs, like super high, like right here. Your popliteal artery is like, see where your knee bends, like right behind there, right there. Your dorsalis pedis artery runs around, see your first and second toe right here? It's along the line over there, right around here. Your posterior tibial artery is always going to be on the same side as your big toe, and it's going to be right around here. Now to get someone's pulse, what you're going to usually do is you're going to take your index finger and your middle finger and you're going to place it on the artery that you choose to get their pulse from. Usually it's going to be the radial artery. And then you're going to count the pulsations for 30 seconds and then multiply it by 2 so you can find their BPM or their beats per minute. The normal range for pulse is about 60 to 100 beats per minute in adults. Next is blood pressure. Blood pressure is the force that circulating blood exerts against artery walls as the heart contracts and relaxes, measured in unit millimeters of mercury, mm, and Hg, recorded as 2 separate pressures in fraction form. So the terms associated with this one are systolic pressure, which is the pressure created in the arteries when the heart contracts and forces blood out into circulation. This is the first blood pressure sound that you will hear. Diastolic pressure is the last sound you will hear, and it is the pressure remaining in the arteries when the heart is relaxed. The next term is perfusion, which is the flow of blood through the tissues, providing them with oxygen and nutrients, and removing waste products. Next is hypotension, which is an abnormally low blood pressure, and hypertension, which is an abnormally high blood pressure. Hypotension can cause insufficient perfusion of the internal organs, and hypertension may cause rupture of the arteries and destruction of organs. You can get blood pressure with a blood pressure cuff, also known as, and a stethoscope. And you're going to place the cuff around the brachial artery and then take the stethoscope, and normal systolic pressure is less than 120 mmHg. Normal range is from 90 to 140, and normal diastolic pressure is less than 80 mmHg, with the normal range being from 60 to 90 mmHg. Respiration is the exchange of gases between the atmosphere, blood, and body cells. The terms associated with this are inhalation, which is the act of taking air into the lungs, exhalation, which is expelling air out of the lungs, dyspnea, which is labored or difficult breathing, apnea, which is the absence of breathing, and tachypnea, which is excessively rapid breathing, and respiration, which is the measurement of one inhalation and one exhalation. You can get someone's respirations by watching the rise and fall of their chest for a period of 30 seconds, and then you're going to take that number that you counted, multiply it by 2, so you can get the amount of respirations per minute. And the normal respiration rate is about 12 to 20 breaths per minute. The next thing we're going to go into, which wasn't mentioned in the beginning, but is really important to know, is pulse oximetry, or SpO2. Oxygen saturation is the ratio of the amount of oxygen present in the blood to the amount that could be carried, and this is expressed as a percentage. You're going to take a pulse oximeter and you're going to place it on the patient's finger, and this is going to determine the rate, which the normal rate for your blood oxygen levels is going to be around 96% to 100%. Alright everybody, that was the video. I know that it was short, I know it was quick. Unit 2 was pretty easy. We pretty much know most of this already, but make sure you go over this, and don't forget I did make a Quizlet with all the terms that we need to memorize for this particular lesson, and that should be in the description below. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.